Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. Our next guest created a roadmap for couples to bring back love, passion, and commitment into their relationship. We welcome couples therapist and author of the Return to Love Playbook, Dr. Debra Castaldo. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, I love this focus on bringing couples back to a better place because a lot of people can relate to maybe feeling stuck in some unhealthy patterns in these long-term relationships.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not that hard to get back to love. A lot of people think it's impossible, and it really isn't. It's easier than most people think.
Well, that's encouraging. So why do you think that so many couples fall into this pattern of saying they've fallen out of love or calling it quits? And are those terms even appropriate to what we're talking about?
Yes, I think we've become a throwaway culture in the last half century. The divorce rates are sky high. People are saying they're unhappy. About 70 to 85% of couples say they're not happy. We have an epidemic of sexless marriages that are contributing to divorce. So it's become so easy to delete people and relationships and to neglect, the effort that it takes to keep love going.
So how do we hold on to that love crazed feeling of when you first fall in love with somebody? And is that even possible?
Well, I don't think it's possible to hold on to the falling in love phase. The being in love, the staying in love for a very long time, yes, but that falling in love phase is so crazy, and it's because the brain chemicals are actually so high. It's dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. You actually couldn't sustain that. The brain
Mm.
could not keep that going. But after we get out of that crazy stage, then it's very possible to keep the feelings of love going. But you have to put a lot of effort into it. You have to stay committed to it.
Do you have to just continue to choose each other and put the relationship as a priority to keep it going for that long of a term?
Absolutely. I think the couple has to make a commitment to be a team and keep a few things going. First of all, their what I call their sparkle, their good times, their togetherness, their friendship, and then keeping their standards high, things like respect, how they communicate to one another, how they solve differences, and then the passion, the affection, the romance, the intimacy. That's another leg of the foundation that needs to be kept in place.
Do you have first steps to couples who are maybe struggling with that affection piece of it and maintaining that healthy intimacy because it's such a common issue?
It is. And I think a lot of people make the mistake of thinking, well, now we have to like just jump back into that if we haven't been intimate or even affectionate for sometimes I hear decades that couples have not touched, hugged, or kissed. So I've got a couple of really, really easy steps. First of all, I recommend start dancing in your kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
That's something you can do easily. You don't have to go out, and it brings touch, hold, eye contact, and moving together. That's a good place to start. Then, number two is we talk about the 6 second kiss and the 20-second hug. And that's because those amounts of time release those good chemicals that I talked about. So you got to kind of get rid of those like pecks, those chicken pecks as you're passing each other, not really getting into a very good hug that you hold for a long time. So that's number two. And number three is I always recommend holding each other until completely relaxed twice a week, preferably skin to skin with no expectation. And that's a really big boost to emotional security, attachment, and getting comfortable being with each other again.
That's really beautiful, and all the things you lined up, they're so simple, but they could seem challenging at first. Are people surprised when they make the commitment how easy it is on the other side of it?
Yeah, they are. They tell me they can't do it. And actually, I have couples hug in my therapy sessions in the beginning and also at the end. And at first, some of them say, oh, we haven't touched in 20 years. We don't want to do that. And they'll be sitting across from each other. And they're surprised that after a few times of doing it, they get pretty good at it. And the hugs get longer. And then they want to have a little peck of a kiss at least in the end of therapy. And I have some couples then starting to say I love you when they haven't done that in many, many years. And it's so wonderful. And as I said, it's so much easier than people think. But you got to start somewhere. You got to start with some baby steps.
Absolutely, but that's so encouraging and can bring so much hope to so many couples. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Again, Dr. Deb's book is The Return to Love Playbook, and we'll have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.